So I decided to do a little bit of some testing with Spark, because we were just messing around with some of the commands, and we found out Slash Alchemy has a lot more interesting cases. Hey, Editor Mad here. So like an hour after I had put the hat on the text, the wizard pack came out, and like I don't know how that happened. I don't know. How does that happen? I don't know. Then it really should. So we're gonna go to the garrison. We're gonna go test this out. Because I'm gonna show you every weird and interesting interaction regarding alchemy machines now. So, as you probably know, there are 2 alchemy machines within the garrison. One right next to the lab, and one right next to the Hall of Heroes. When we do Slash Alchemy, it takes you to one of the two. It takes you to one of the 2 alchemy machines within the scene. This has interesting interactions. So, like, obviously here you can tell I'm teleporting between the 2. It doesn't take you to the nearest one as I originally thought. It takes you to one of any of them within the scene. And this is because the way the command works compared to the other ones is that all of the commands that teleport you to a specific location have a predetermined location. And the alchemy machine has one too. In fact, it's in the bazaar. There's that one alchemy machine by Vadel in the bazaar. However, this command tries to teleport you to the closest alchemy machine within the scene. And so, because of that, there's a lot of goofiness that you can do with alchemy machines because of it. Alright, so now we're in the arcade, and it's important to note that when doing Slash Alchemy, it only takes... Okay, well, shit. I'll talk about this first then. Doing Slash Alchemy in the arcade has the chance to put you in one of 2 different alchemy machine locations. One right next to Pharaon, and then... or I think it's Fenrir, whatever his name is. And then this one right here. This one right here teleports you inside the alchemy machine, and I originally thought you would have been stuck here, but no, you can just walk straight out. It's really inoffensive. But the important thing to know with Slash Alchemy is that it only takes you to normal alchemy machines. It doesn't ever teleport you to any of the special alchemy machines like the Krogmo Alchemy Machine or the Mysterious Alchemy Machine. It doesn't teleport you to any of those because it doesn't recognize it as like a normal alchemy machine, and so you never have to worry about being teleported to one of those. Now going over to the lab, this works with really any place that has an alchemy machine outside of Haven. What you can do is you can do Slash Alchemy, and then it'll prompt you to return to Haven. You click on return, but it just teleports you to the alchemy machine within the scene here. It does that for basically anything, really. It does it for ready rooms, it does it for other missions. It just teleports you to the alchemy machine in the scene, which is fine, but the fact that it prompts you is a little strange, and it kind of goes to show that they didn't playtest that, because I think what it wants you to do is it wants you to teleport back to the one in the bazaar. But because there's already a thing here, it just overrides that prompt and takes it here. And just to demonstrate that it does actually take you to the bazaar in Haven as the default alchemy machine point. There is no alchemy machine on depth 0 of the Clockworks. So if I do Slash Alchemy here, it'll prompt me to go back to Haven. I click on return, and there you go. It says bazaar. Once we'll load in, it'll show me that I am in front of the alchemy machine by Vadel. I believe this is the only one in the bazaar, so it should just take me... Oh, there's 2 actually. Okay, so that's also interesting. I didn't know this. I didn't realize there was a second one here, but it teleports you to this location, specifically instead of right here, as it normally does. And the reason why it does that is because during one of the missions, I'll pop it up on screen here, it teleports you to this exact location and talks about the alchemy machine and how you can craft stuff using it. And so I think they just use that as a base point should any area not have an alchemy machine within it. One of the funnier things you can do with alchemy machines is you can actually teleport to them inside of guild halls. So in this instance, we're inside Lion's Den right now, and the only people that can access this alchemy room are guild masters, which would be like people like Ari himself. So if we type in /alchemy, if I can spell it right, we'll teleport inside the alchemy machine, and then we could just walk out here and then be permanently trapped in here until we leave and come back. It's a little goofy. I mean, it's more so just for like messing with your friends, be like, hey, do /alchemy so you can easily get to the alchemy station, but then you have a door here and they're just permanently trapped. I checked on the design mode in a personal guild hall I have, and as it turns out, you just straight up cannot block the entrance no matter what. The only way to do this is through a door. Unfortunately, one of the more insidious things you can do with this command is if you go and do /alchemy, of course it'll prompt you to go back to Haven, but if you were a knight that couldn't pass those gates that block you off from reaching like tier 2 or 3, you can use this command to just completely bypass that. Now, granted, it's not entirely insidious, given the fact that you can always just ask a player to be like, hey, could you teleport me, or could you do a tier 2 run for me, and then I'll join, and then you leave. Because there's always that as the option to bypass that, but it's definitely an insidious option for those who are solo players and are able to do that. Otherwise, yeah, no, this one's a little moot because of it. But yeah, this works for both Moorcraft Manor and Emberlight, so you can always do that. But please, don't actually do that. This is more so just for educational purposes and documentation rather than an actual thing of a piece of advice for you to go and do. Because I don't want to get in trouble, I don't want other people to get in trouble for this. This is just purely for documentation's sake. And with that, that's about everything I wanted to talk about when it comes to the new command /alchemy. There probably maybe one or two more things I could find and talk about, but those are really the major ones that I felt were worth talking about. So if you want to go ahead and try them out for yourself, by all means go ahead. The one with the guild hall is definitely pretty goofy, all things considered. But with that, I'd like to bid you guys farewell. Bye-bye.